what in yours, from your perspective, separates Haze from the normal first-person shooter you have on the market?
I mean, the thing, I think, one of the things that we want to emphasise, I mean, there's easy things that I can just say, just kind of technical features, you know, things like obviously the 4-player co-op is a really kind of big sell.
Yeah.
I think the way we're doing our multiplayer, which we'll talk about in a bit, is, you know, really interesting. The fact that it's a continuous experience with no loading screens, always staying in first person. I mean, actually kind of, one of the things I'd really like it to do is to actually kind of make people think a bit more about the reality of the situation they're in when they sit down and play a shooting game. Because one of the things that was kind of main motivation for the direction that the narrative takes in the game is that we felt frustrated with the very kind of black and white depiction of, you know, war in video games. Because it's like you very much have this situation. It's like, well, look, these are the evil bad guys over there. You know, they're running around. You know, well, they're evil. And you just go and shoot them, and shooting them's fine because they're evil. And just, you know, that very kind of like like I say, very black and white depiction of reality, which is something that's fallen out of cinema, you know, years and years ago. And yet video games are still clinging to this very kind of very simplistic depiction of you know, the realities of war. So I think
other people are making war games. We're making a game about war.
I guess for a game like that, how you described it right now, the AI will play a very significant role in transporting this experience. So what are you doing to make the AI better than those of different games?
It's much more about how you're using animation and how you're using sound on top of that AI system to really communicate to player the kind of the emotions of those characters. So I mean, that's really where we've been focusing a lot of our effort with the AI.
Is it more difficult to program the AI, for example, for your opponents, for the enemies, or for your squad that is going with you when you're playing alone?
I think your squad mates actually present, you know, some of the biggest challenges. I mean, because with an enemy you always have that thing where there's a natural sensation, well, a natural thing that occurs where you don't tend to pay that much close attention to them in a lot of cases, because if you're there trying to look at them, they'll often be shooting you in the face. So it's like you're there going, well, I'm not going to stand and look at him, I'm going to get out of the way. Your squad mates, you know, they might be crouched next to you and just, you know, getting shot at, and the things they're doing, the reactions they're having when that's happening to them, that's something you can watch very closely. And so in many ways, I think, you know, that is actually, you know, the real challenge. They do get killed. So they don't play a significant part in the narrative as you play through the game, but they do have their own little stories. I mean, we're not.
Well, the essence of it is that in a game, you run through a level, kill 100 people, and never acknowledge that, you know, if it were real life, these people have families, they have sons and brothers and mothers and fathers. And so we're trying to, you know, as much as we're capable of at this stage, to try and give some identity to the characters who, traditionally in games, have no identity at all.
I'm still not sure what the main story is. So he's this one soldier.
We didn't actually explain the kind of the main setting and basis of the plot to you. So that's probably why you can do it.
The story is you're playing Sergeant Shane Carpenter, who is a soldier in the Mantel PMC. It's a private military company. In this near future setting, governments effectively outsource their peacekeeping operations to PMCs, which is pretty much the direction we're going in already. There's been a sort of unspecified conflict in South America that Mantle are going down to sort out. There's some kind of rebel uprising with this group called the Promise Hand, being led by this vicious would-be dictator who's called Skincoat, or at least that's what Mantle call him as a nickname, because he's famed for the prisoners of war that he has in his camps. He will skin them and use this skin as leather and make this coat. So he's an evil son of a bitch, is the long and the short bit. Thank goodness that Mantel are going to go down there and kick his ass.
I'm guessing you're like halfway the game you're going to switch sides.
Why the hell would you do that? This guy's a maniac. He skins people. You are sick. You make me sick.
Any well-known characters doing voices or?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's interesting you say that because the cast of Haze.
You are not a well-known character, but
No, yeah.
He will be.
even with all your character experience.
The voices you heard today are placeholders, so it's just me yakking into a microphone. But the actual actors doing the script, the cast of Haze, are guys from Royal Shakespeare Company, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. These are proper, serious, classically trained actors who would never do a video game. But, you know, not
You
to blow
convinced them.
What?
You convinced
Well, partly that, but also look, the truth of it is the reason why those people, those good actors, don't want to do video games is because, and I'm not talking about big actors do video games because of money, but good actors do video games because the material is good, and that's why traditionally they won't do it, because they assume it's going to be rubbish. And that's hopefully what we're trying to push into with Next Gen, is to actually have some decent scripts that will attract good actors and will increase the quality of that product.